the roiling motions. So I worked wet on wet, and I went with just the motion of the rolling of the clouds up high, and then brought it down to the focal point of the funnel at the bottom to kind of show that tumultuous feeling you would get seeing something like that.
I think the other thing that I found effective about it is the way it gets brighter down here at the bottom. Sometimes in a thunderstorm, you'll see off in the distance where it gets a little bit brighter in the back, and you have this like darkness that's happening, and there is a little kind of a wash of warmer light that happens at that time of day during a thunderstorm. And I thought that was really kind of evident in the way you've rendered that. So I thought it was really nicely done.
Greg Jones. Greg Jones is not here.
All right, so this is my third place selection. Since he's not here, I'll go real quick. All right. I thought it worked really well with the theme, to be honest with you, a world within a world, because this all got painted opaquely right up here, and I started to think, oh, well, that's kind of cool, because there could be something happening that's back there that's not happening up front. And the composition's pretty good. If I had a criticism, it would be that I think that the construction is a little dodgy here and there. Like, he's got these corner braces on here, and I understand wanting to see fasteners, and I get that, but like, there's a point at which if you're too sort of uniform about the treatment of stuff like that, then it looks like poor craftsmanship as opposed to looking like something that's been intentional. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So like these angle braces to hold the corners in, they make sense if there's one or two of them, and then maybe another one gets kind of a different treatment, and you can kind of vary how the joinery works and integrates with the composition. So there's a way in which, and this is why I got third place, not higher. That's why I'm saying this. I like the kind of the pops of color that were happening here to help kind of move your eye around the composition. But in the end, it was really the kind of construction of the thing itself that had it lower on the scale.
You gave the debt. Okay.
All right.
So, our second place winner is Preston.
Preston's not here. All right, so I have a BFA in photography, and I started doing photography when I was 10 years old, and I'm going to confess a bias to being a sucker for really great black and white photo, and that is fantastic. I thought, like, we were talking about picture space a little bit ago with yours and how it kind of had that depth. This has picture space that you understand because it's a photograph, but it's exceptionally flat, which I really liked about it. Because everything is happening kind of in this plane that is like about this deep, right? Like the most furthest forward object is this railing right here, and the furthest back you can see is like the back of this door, and we're talking maybe 18, 20 inches actual depth in that space. So the worlds within worlds thing, it got me thinking, all right, well, similar to this one, what's happening back there in the back, right? What's happening up here in the front? And then as a fragment of a larger world, of being part of a city, it's like a world within a world within a world in a weird way. So I thought it was just a beautiful photograph, and I thought it worked really nicely with the image.
And then first prize goes to Jean Cormier.
Ooh.
She's not here.
Over 3.
The rain kept all of our winners away.
So this one's hilarious, and that's part of the reason it won, because I like funny. The sheep is beautifully rendered, beautifully painted, and then it's really contrasted nicely against all of the comic book work in the background. We were talking earlier about how sometimes contrast makes sense and sometimes it doesn't. And for your piece, I was like, well, contrast you didn't really need because I thought the strength of it was in that center panel, right? In this case, the contrast really helps because even the painting style is completely different. Do you know what I mean? Because this one got rendered in a kind of a realistic fashion, and in this is all like super flat, bright color, comic book graphic would love to have a sheep that was thinking about comic books all the time. So it's like the world within the world is like behind this eye. You've got all this happening, but like there's no way. Because if you've met a sheep, they're not bright. They're nice. They're soft. But so I just really like that contrast between a pretty dumb looking sheep and then like all of the like zaniness that would happen inside. It's like, have you guys ever seen the cartoon The Animaniacs, that television show? Some of you are probably in the wheelhouse for The Animaniacs, but that's kind of what it reminded me of in a weird way. And so that's why I was like, just the juxtaposition of those two things I thought was really fantastic. All right, I guess that's all I got.
If anyone has questions of their own art, Matt is ready to.
Let's roll.